So, our next presentation is starting immediately, and I'm very pleased, to welcome all the way from France, from Bordeaux via San Francisco, Benoit Boudier. Benoit has got a very interesting subject to cover today, which is Cybavo. Cybavo recently was bought by Circle. And if all of you know Circle is in fact, Circle is in fact the backer behind USDC. So here we go. We're going to talk about security platform, and I'm going to pass across to Benoit. Over to you, Benoit.
Thank you. Can we have the presentation, please?
Yeah, let's do a microphone test.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you for...
Hold it closer to your mouth.
Thank you for attending this session, everyone. So as mentioned, I'm Benoit Boudier, BD manager for Cybavo in EMEA. And what we're going to talk about right now is about custody, digital asset management custody, and security. So can I have the... Thank you. So quickly, to introduce you to Cybavo, what we do is we are a platform for direct custody and digital asset management. We provide an infrastructure for any type of company looking at to invest in digital asset or simply developed on Web3. So we are an MPC-based solution, so multi-party computing. If some of them are familiar with this tech, this is considered as a warm wallet. So most of the components are web-based, online, with part of it being protected by cryptographic technology. At the moment, we are around 85 plus, nearly to 100 enterprise clients, and we manage 2.5 billion monthly transaction volumes. So as a testament to the quality of the work we've been doing since 2018, so as mentioned, Circle, the US-based company behind USDC, acquired us earlier this year in August. To literally implement and deploy our wallet infrastructure to the global USDC environment. So what will happen is that they created this fourth pillar that will be dedicated for every company looking at to deploy, develop, and work on the Web3 world. So looking at the security, what actually security means in blockchain. As some of you may know, it's all about the private key management. Access to the private key is access to the fund themselves. And managing those private keys is something that is extremely new in the investing world and development world in general. We are facing all of the traditional risk from any kind of software development, from hackers, scam, rogue insiders, but all of these risks are embodied, are decoupled by the fact that now in Web3, information is actually fund. We can transfer value at the internet speed. And so if you have any issue on any of those fronts, the consequences can literally be a business go down. The rogue insider issue, for example, here we're talking about employees, we're talking about business partners, anyone that needs to have access to those funds. In the traditional world, they will need to have access to your bank account, which wouldn't happen. Well, in Web3, they need to have access to the fund to just do their job. So how do you make sure internally that you have the right process for people to work with those funds without putting them at risk? Regarding the existing solution, well, the more popular one would be definitely hot wallet and cold wallet. I won't name any company, but you can definitely see who those companies are. And then in addition to that, we have the custodian and the HSMs. So the problem we identified with those solutions is that they're either too expensive, they require a high level of technical knowledge, or they're just not suitable for companies. In addition, what we actually identified and what we believe fundamental is that there has to be a difference between the right to use versus the responsibility to secure the private keys. You cannot ask a CFO to have the cybersecurity background to protect private keys. You cannot ask employees to actually own the process of protecting the company funds. And finally, business owners, they need to have a way to track those funds. They need to have a way to enforce internal policies. And so that's what we're trying to achieve with our platform that looks like exactly this. So it's an online platform that put together everything there is to look after when you want to work and develop on Web3. We have, so this component, which would be this platform you access online, works together with our authenticating app. This app was developed in-house, and it's the authenticator that people will use to validate transaction, validate wallet creation, validate wallet policies. So you trigger a transaction on the platform, and based on the policies that you guys are going to set up internally, people will receive notification, push-up notification saying, hey, you have this employee trying to send 5 Bitcoin over there. Do you validate? And you can have multiple people involved at multiple levels, from 0 to 1, 1 to 5, etc., etc. So it's, as I mentioned, it's a warm wallet because it's MPC-based, so it's a cloud technology. And it's a turnkey solution. You literally can have access to that in 24 hours and set up all of your blockchain operation in there. In addition, we have a SaaS approach, an on-premises approach, which is quite unique in the industry, because we're going to deploy all of the private key on our clients' infrastructure. So technically, they are self-hosted. They have the keys on their side, and we're just the technology provider, helping them to develop and invest in blockchain. So this is a concrete example of one of the many, many features we actually have. And today, with a short presentation, we simply go through this one. So this is our multi-level approval process. So in our infrastructure, we have 4 different types of users. We have wallet creators who are going to be admins. These guys, they create the wallet, and they set up who can do what on this wallet. For example, this wallet can trade up to 5 Bitcoin per day and 200 transactions. And you can have one wallet made for every single type of usage. Internal treasury, product development, whatever. All these wallets will have specific role, and we actually have many, many different type of wallets that I'm happy to introduce you to, if you'd like, to really perform whatever jobs they need. In addition, so you have the wallet creator, then you have the operator. Operator is the person that needs to send out transactions. Again, to do treasury, to do product development. Then, once this person sends out the transaction, it goes into an approval chain. These people, they don't need to be involved in the transaction themselves for their own job. These are managers, directors, executive, and you can go up to 15 level different level approval. 0 to 1 Bitcoin, 1 to 5 Bitcoin, 5 to 10. And you can have a M of N approval chain. So you say 2 out of 3, 1 out of 2. And it's extremely granular. So this is the best solution to mitigate the risk we just saw earlier around rogue insider. This is how you can make sure that no one in your company is going to mess up with your crypto, literally. And then you have the final role, which is auditor. Well, you know, you're still a company. You still have reporting activity. You still have balance sheet report to run. And most of this time, those finance department, they don't like to go too crazy into new tech, whatever. So what we do is we give them a view-only mode. They go into the Cybavo platform. They say, I want to see all of the activity for the last months in USD, in euro, in whatever currency you need. They run the report, they do the reporting, done. Everything is easy. So if we look at a traditional company looking to invest or work on blockchain, this is the traditional situation. It's actually fairly easy to go on exchange, to go wherever, buy crypto, or saying, hey, I'm going to start an NFT marketplace. But once you took this step, well, you have a whole bunch of questions you got to answer, and that are extremely specific to blockchain. So how do you mitigate user error? How do you protect the private key? This is really the first question to ask. But then, how do you ensure regulatory compliance? How do you make sure that you have a way to track your transaction every day, but you are also being able to scale up and service millions of users while still managing your back-end operations? And that's what we aim to be. We aim to be this layer, this fundamental layer of security that is going to enable any company, again, that is looking to invest in blockchain or developed on blockchain to really focus on their added value activities. Like, there's no added value in protecting the private keys, really, let's be honest. There's no added value in having some awesome compliance tool. However, it is existential to the company, because if you don't do that well, you go out of business. So our goal is to be this layer where we're going to do it all. We're going to do this private security management. We have gas fees optimization tool. We have smart contract integration with API interaction that you can set up and protect. We have DeFi, NFT, etc. So we give you this toolbox to anyone, and you can focus on doing literally your job. So if we take a step back, this is more or less the standard process, again, of a company looking at to get involved. So the first step is definitely private key management. So how am I going to manage those private keys? What is the right solution for me? The second one is infrastructure. How am I going to set up this blockchain operation and integrate them into my company, my infrastructure? Then once this is set up, how am I going to integrate that with the ecosystem out there? What is the right ecosystem for me? Is it NFT? Is it DeFi? Is it smart contract? Again, we've offered all of that, and it will be a strategic decision for you to have and say, okay, this is where we're going to go. And once you have all of this set up, well, you have to scale up, right? Like, you have to find a way to service thousands of companies, millions of end users. And that's where we have also the solution with API integrated component. As I mentioned, purpose-built wallet types. So we have wallet types that are dedicated to some activities, some for treasury, some for virtual account online that you can interact with APIs. All these kind of things we would obviously help, and we help our customers to set this up, but this is the process most companies will have to go through. So in a short words, as mentioned at the top, our goal is firstly to mitigate any risks that you would be facing by investing or building on blockchain. We have to save time and money, because this is the whole-in-one solution, looking at everything there is to look at in blockchain. And then boost scalability, because scaling, when we're talking about so many problematic, can be a big issue, and that's what our platform can do. So this is the four main products right now that we are providing. So the first one would be a Vault, which is a manual-only component, mostly for treasury management. This is a beautiful product for any company looking at to invest in blockchain, but want to have a reliable and secured internal process. They know they're going to have 5 people who have access to these assets, and everything is set up by your wallet policies. And it takes on most of the different aspects. As I mentioned, smart contract, NFT, staking, DeFi, name it. Then we have the cash flow manager with that we actually built on the top of the Vault. And this is where all of your APIs are going to fit in. This is how you're going to be able to generate thousands of deposits per day. You're going to be able to optimize all of your transactions, the gas fees, set up those virtual accounts. This is one infrastructure we have. On the side of that, we also have a wallet SDK for any company looking at to develop a mobile app crypto. White label solution, if you want to integrate a mobile app wallet, or if you want to launch your own mobile app wallet, you can use this SDK. And with that, you cut down costs, and you actually boost mass adoption. Because this is not based on seed phrase, this is based on the PIN. A PIN that you can quickly reset if anyone are losing this PIN, which in most cases it will happen to most consumers out there. And finally, we have the private chain, which is a beautiful solution for any global company that is looking to have an instant settlement layer internal for any kind of internal payment, consolidation of account, actually even providers payment, HR payment, well, name it. You can set up this private chain, it's gas-free, and you can literally maximize the blockchain, the power of the blockchain with all of your internal operation. And as a final note, and this is maybe one of the most important things you would ask is, okay, but what do you guys support in terms of blockchain? There is so many of them. I just met a new layer 1 that I never heard about, and there's new coming up every day. So, well, our job here is to be totally blockchain agnostic and really support as many as possible for anyone looking at to build. So we do at the same time support individual token, but then we also go into token support. Maybe you want to build on ERC20. Maybe you want to build on Solana. we support those standards, so you can quickly, literally integrate those, import those currencies into your system, and work on that and start developing. Finally, we have the staking support that, well, with the state of the market today, staking is getting more and more popular. So we're working really hard on that and providing the capabilities for any company to stake their favorite coins. So to conclude, I understand this was quite a quick walkthrough around what we do. But what I want to really emphasize here is that the top priority for everyone here is security. Like, we know it. When you look at blockchain, Web3, you see those hacks. We just saw another major hack a couple of days ago, 100 million onto one of the major actors, actually. So no one is protected against that. And so the first thing you will ask is, how do I protect my fund? How do I integrate my blockchain activities, my investment, to what I've been traditionally doing for the last 10 years or what I want to do in the next 5 years? And so this is what we aim to be again. Like, we aim to be this layer of security that if you want to build on this and want to have the peace of mind knowing that I have the right setup, I'm starting on the right foot to go beyond and scale, this is what we would like to do. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Questions? What questions you have for Benoit? Okay.
Hello. Thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't quite follow the presentation.
Okay.
Yes, because I was busy somewhere.
No
but
problem.
I saw something that will interest me. So I want to know that, are you guys a service solution for exchange? Or like you are a crypto exchange, or you are a solution for exchange? That's what I want to know.
Actually, our solution was developed for crypto exchanges in the first place. Crypto exchanges were our first client in Asia. Company was founded in Singapore. It's based out of Singapore and Taiwan now. And we have a beautiful fund flow for exchanges going with API integration. You generate your user funds. You can consolidate at the end of the day into the vault. You generate at the same time thousands of withdrawal per day. Beautiful stuff for exchanges. It was actually tailor-made. In addition to that, we developed a lot of additional solutions for NFT marketplaces, GameFi company, traditional finance. In Circle acquired us, we're talking more and more with tier 1 banks, regional banks, hedge funds. So we're tailoring now our solution to these guys. But first place, exchanges were our first clients. Absolutely.
All right, thank you. So I think I'll be interested.
Absolutely. You asked a question on the one before. You're working in Africa, right? You have an African-based exchange. I'd love to. I'm looking after the African region, and there's a lot of exciting stuff happening in Eastern Africa, in South Africa, Ethiopia, etc. So very excited. Would be really happy to.
I have another question. I also joined quite late. Sorry for that. The question is, can we, for example, having our in-house solution running this DeFi strategy, using your solution to manage it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And well, the biggest question there is when I have this type of conversation is we have 10 different ways to do every single thing in our system. So yes, but then how? We can have a very long and different conversation together and figure out how it would be best fit you. Would it through a mobile app wallet? Would it be through virtual account? Would it be through some sort of omnibus account? There's a lot of philosophical question and strategy question to be answered.
Yeah, so I will come to your booth and I'd like to discuss it.
We'll be happy to, absolutely.
So Benoit, I've got a question for you. So tell me what you think Cybavo is going to be in a couple of years from now. You know, what do you think you're going to be in the next couple of years, having been acquired by Circle, which is hugely significant?
Honestly, no idea. We're going to be, what we know is we're going to be this specialist provider for Web3 developer. Circle has been working with major financial institutions like American government. They're focusing on going from USD to USDC and then using this settlement layer of USDC and taking advantage of crypto. However, they acquired us because they had no solution for any type of wallet, on-chain wallet. Companies were going to them and say, hey, I want to use USDC to settle my payment with my providers. Can I do that and pay people around the globe? Yes, you can. You go through a Circle account with an API, payments API, and you can settle your payment instantly around the globe. However, the next question was, okay, can I have a wallet for my company? And can I integrate that with my standard process? And it was no until now, and this is what we will do. We will be this wallet infrastructure literally powering the USDC, and soon, I can't wait, the Eurocoin and all of the G10 currencies, hopefully, that will be tokenized. And we will be this wallet infrastructure looking at everything there is to do on Web3.
Okay, one last question then. You said there are basically 4 different products today. If I want to buy the product, how do you license, or how do you sell those products today?
Well, we sell them globally, and to be transparent, we don't have any license, because one of the issue with regulators, and this is not an isolated case, is that they're actually unfamiliar with the tech we're deploying. They know cold wallet, they know hot wallet, but you talk about MPC-based solution and actually digital asset custody technology. That's what we do. We actually don't have access to the asset. Like, a custodian is someone who is supposed to have access to the asset. You're putting your gold to a custody, you're putting your fine art, whatever. These guys, they have your assets and they have access to it. We don't. All of this is in a cold zone, cryptographically protected part that is in our infrastructure, but we don't have access to it. Even worse, when we're looking at on-premises deployment that I mentioned, that is extremely powerful in many different ways. I won't take the time to present them now, but happy to present anytime. We deploy the private key on the client side. So, like, how the regulators are seeing that right now, they don't know. Circle have literally an army of lawyers. Like, their job is to work with American government, big institution. And they told us, we don't need a license right now. This is literally something that is not being addressed because technology is so new and use cases are so new. So we're keeping a look at that. We obviously make sure that we're compliant. Circle is a company that is compliance and safety first. So if this change, we will definitely get licensed. But at the moment, we can do more or less global outreach more or less freely.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, any other questions? I must say I have been really well educated during this presentation, and I would like to place my order now. But if anyone else would like to, we're going to take a short break. I would like to just thank Benoit for this presentation. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll take a 2-minute break. We're going to just change the table before the next presentation.